Hi, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. I just want to come on today and continue my series on spirit teachings and spiritual inspirations. This is video number 5. In video number 4, I spoke about William Stainton Moses and his book, Spirit Teachings, which were brought through him by the spirit world through trance writing, channels writing, automatic writing. It's the same method for this video. In what I want to discuss through trance writing. And what I like about both of these books, what I'll discuss today, as well as what I discussed in the last video, is that as soon as the medium, the person that the writings are coming through, thinks too much about what is being written or starts to analyze it or criticize it or argue with it, the session just stops and the pen just drops and the spirit world just withdraw. And they say the conditions aren't right anymore. We'll continue the session at a later time when your mind is more passive. So the big lesson there, I find, as I mentioned in the last video, a passive and receptive mind is so important for spirit work. The less we get involved in what we're saying or what we're writing or what they're inspiring through us, the spirit world, the easier it is for them to work through us. So just keep that in mind and try to just stay in this harmonious and even state when you're working with spirit, and don't get too involved in what they're saying or what they're inspiring through you, and just try to make yourself this clear and pure channel so they can work through you fully. Okay, so I want to discuss W.T. Stead's book, Letters from Julia. Letters from Julia was written in 1896 through W.T. Stead. W.T. Stead passed in the Titanic in 1912. And what I like about W.T. Stead is that he wrote and researched a lot about spiritualism and the spirit world when he lived in the physical realm on Earth. But when he passed in 1912 on the Titanic, he continued his work, continued shining light on the spirit world and how the spirit world functioned and what the spirit world wants from us, even when he was in the spirit world. And he inspired through other mediums still living after he passed in many different books written by the spirit of W.T. Stead and given to us by different mediums, what happens after we pass? What happens when we enter into the spirit world, when we make this transition from the two realms? What is the spirit world? Is it just a world of mist and us floating in the clouds with wings and playing harps? No, from what he says, it's a very structured world with organizations and rules and laws to progress and move up into different spheres, and how the spirit world feels and looks. And it's amazing teachings, I find. But in Letters from Julia, which is what he wrote when he still was alive, well, he's still alive, but living in the physical realm. Also, Julia, the sassy spirit woman who I love, because she calls him out every time he thinks too much or gets too involved. She's like, "You're thinking far too much. I'm going to come back later. Bye." And she just goes. I don't know where she goes, but she just leaves and the session is over. But she also talks about the bureau in the spirit realm, which is sort of like the organizational hub of the spirit world and what the spirit world want from us, and how they try to inspire spirit workers, us mediums, to bring these teachings into the physical realm. And they want us to really start this bureau of the spirit world here in the physical realm, and how we can create this hub between the spirit realm and the physical realm. Okay, so, but get this book. This is a really good book. And it has, like I said, 5 or 6 books within this book, all amazing, all incredibly interesting. And it just gives whoever's really curious about what exactly is the spirit world, what happens there. Very cool. I believe I got this on Amazon. I think you can get this definitely on Amazon or eBay. Okay. So Letters from Julia, W.T. Stead. Like I said, this was written, what I'd like to read, it's from a chapter called How to Widen the Chinks. Basically, how to open a doorway between the two realms, the physical realm and the spirit realm, written September 19th, 1896. And this is what Julia said through him. It's a rather long passage, so please bear with me, but I like it and it really resonated with me. What we wish most to say to you is that you should endeavor to resume the habit of contemplation. You are all too much hurried. You all are getting to be too busy. How do you think you are able to keep the door open between you and him who is love, God, unless you have at least some moments in the day when you can be alone with him and with us? Oh, my friend, when we see you absorb day by day and far into the night over the things of your life, being so preoccupied that no voice from the other side can reach your ears, what chance have you to grow in the knowledge of spirit? What the age needs is time to think, time to meditate, time to pray, time, in short, for the divine and the eternal. We do not ask impossibilities. We do not ask men in the newspaper office to practice the contemplative life of the monks of Thebaid. Those were monks in ancient Egypt or Greece. All the rest of the day, the world and its affairs possess them. But if there were but 5 minutes daily for the soul, for quiet thinking on the relations between you and love, which is God, manifests in life, would it not be better for you? Would you not have more of a chance to open the vision that you have lost? Okay. 1896, this was written. This is 126, 127 years ago. Don't make me do math. 5 minutes of our time is all the spirit world wants from us, to be quiet, to contemplate, to allow this affinity between us and the spirit world and God to build. But if you think about this, 127 years ago, she's talking about, the spirit world is talking about how busy our lives are, how our minds are just filled with our daily preoccupations of living and working and collecting and making money and running around and being far too hurried. 127 years ago, they're saying that. Think about this now, our world now. How much more information we're being bombarded with, how much harder it is now to get into this quiet space. And they only ask for 5 minutes a day. Who doesn't have time to give 5 minutes a day? And I'm going to be so bold not to argue with Julia at all, but 5 minutes in 127 years ago, when it was hardly as crazy it is now, with the information being thrown at us through our devices, our computers, our televisions, our radios, internet, Wi-Fi, we're always connected. We always have information that's activating our conscious minds and keeping us in this spin. So I'm going to say we need 15 minutes a day to just sit, not for spirit communication, but just to sit in the presence of your own spirit, to sit in the presence of the spirit world and allow them to just work with us and work through us. Because I do feel when we sit in the presence of spirit and in the presence of God, this transference of energy starts to go back and forth. How can you expect to really link and blend with the spirit world fully and to be open to their inspiration and their divinity if your mind is spinning? If your mind is always active and you're always thinking about all these things that are occupying your daily life. Okay, so see if you can just move into this quiet state and just contemplate life, contemplate your own life, contemplate what your purpose here is, contemplate happiness, contemplate love, move your vibration up into a vibration and energy of love and gratitude and happiness. And that right away, these are higher vibrational emotions and thoughts. And then we can sort of meet where the spirit world is, because I do believe the spirit world is a world of love and happiness. Their vibration is much higher than ours. So all we can do is try to raise our vibration. Be happy, be grateful, be divine. Move into your own spirit and feel this divinity of God within your own light. Because at the end of the day, mediumship or even healing, I find it's a spirit to spirit communication, a spirit to spirit communion of light. But if you're constantly spinning, if you're constantly worrying about what's going on in the world. How am I going to take care of all the things I need to take care of in my daily life, which I'm not, of course, we're living in the physical realm. So we're always going to have things that depend on us for our survival: rent, mortgage, health insurance, buying food, helping your family. Um, all of these things, of course, they're important. But I think if this is the work you really want to do, if you want to be this ambassador to the spirit world here in the physical realm, the voice of the voiceless, we are the voice of the voiceless here in the matter world. The spirit world can't do anything without us. They need us just as we need them. But if you really want to do this, you have to carve out a bit of time in your day. Take the 5 minutes that Julia's saying, or listen to me as I'm being so bold and saying do 15 minutes, which I don't know. I'm just assuming that would be better considering how much more information is being hurled at us constantly every second of every day, because we're always connected. We're always being clouded with constant information. Other people's opinions, other people's words are always coming at us through our handheld devices, our computers, televisions, radio, whatever. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get much worse in terms of the information overload. So, and this closes you down. This clouds within your energy how the spirit world can work through you. How can the spirit world work fully through you when in your aura, orbit, in your energy field, it's always worry and constant thoughts from your conscious mind? You have to learn how to move into this quiet state. Okay. So when I read that, I sort of smirked. I'm like, oh my God, if they're talking about that 127 years ago, you know, how busy people were and how hurried they were. And if their main criticism of mankind, of humanity, is that we're too hurried, imagine what they think of us now. God, scary. So make a deal with yourself and make a deal with spirit. Promise spirit that you will give them 5, 10, 15 minutes of your time in the mornings, in the afternoon, before you go to bed. Just carve out a little time for them. Walk in nature, commune with nature. Allow these healing energies, these healing properties in nature, from the trees, from the grass, from the mountains, from the ocean, from the rivers, to just feed you, and you'll feel yourself just relaxing. Move into your breath. The breath naturally starts to relax you and will help you open up and expand your sensitivity to feel the spirit world, to feel the love and the divinity of God, and allow it in and just sit with it. And the more you can do this, you strengthen your relationship with the spirit world, because that's what we want as spirit workers, right? We want to have a good relationship with the spirit world because they will walk with us. They will help you, but you have to be aware and stay cognizant of this help as it's coming. And if you're constantly spinning, nothing's going to register and nothing's going to be able to get in. Okay. So that passage actually really resonated with me, to take the time. And this is coming directly from spirit through W.T. Stead to you, through me to you. Okay. So listen to this. Listen to them. Listen to Julia. Julia knows what she's talking about. Get this book and read it. Letters from Julia Within the Blue Island, by W.T. Stead and Estelle Stead. And you'll see there's so much valuable information there for us. And it's like a roadmap they're building. It's a blueprint that they're giving us about how we can work with them better and allow them to come through clearer, and to how about make ourselves this vessel, this clear and pure vessel, this conduit for them to work through us, because that's what they want from us. They want us to be happy. They want us to be content and to have a good life. Don't forget that we're here in the physical realm to also always experience love, self-love, joy, happiness, but also to learn to progress and evolve, because this is the point I feel about coming here, and to express compassion and love for your fellow man, woman, child, animals, and the earth itself. Okay. Thank you very much. I hope this resonated with some of you, and I do hope it helps. I wish everyone a lovely day. Bye.